Welcome to the new trade recap. Finally, we got a second trade this week. Let's get right into it. So we had today 10 a.m. PMI, and that's the only thing that I was worrying about. I was waiting for it to pass, and then I was looking for the setup. So let's go ahead and start with ES because it was the better pair to trade today. So I was obviously bearish because every single time frame is bearish. You see the 4 hour, we have a fair value gap, it also moved down. 1 hour here, also bearish, and then we had a retracement right about there. So we had a retracement, move down, retracement. Obviously the next thing is move down. That's what I was going for. We had this daily order block that I was like, maybe we reach this, maybe we don't. In this case we did not. So let's see what actually I was looking for. So we had this 1 hour order block right here and 1 hour fair value gap. We were moving up into that, and from there I was looking for price to sweep something with 930 and then give me the confirmations so that I can enter. In this case, we also didn't react of this. We move up with 930, we sweep a 50-minute buy set, so it's basically this one. We reach into the 1 hour order block, and if you look closely, it's a 50-minute fair value gap, which I didn't mark out. From there, we get an inverse right here, and after the inverse, we have a swing high put in, swing low put in, and we retrace back into the equilibrium. From that equilibrium, all you need to do is look for an inversion fair value gap or a break structure. In this case, you get the inversion right here first. So you get the inversion right here. That's where you enter once this candle closes. Stop above this high last, and the target was the 4 hour sell side, which we marked prior to this, so this low. That was the trade on ES. The problem is, and why I didn't take it, is that it was right before news. As you can see, 10 a.m. news was right there. The setup happened here, basically 5 or 6 minutes before the actual news event. So I did not want to be in this because of that. So I waited, and as you can see, I was expecting a bit. It's good that the price didn't move much, because if it rips up or down, then I would not trade probably anymore. But since it didn't do anything, I decided to go look for the NQ for a setup, because I did not want to chase this one anymore. So I did not want to chase this. So I went over to NQ. We have the same thing. We are bearish here. 4 hour also, you can see that we are inside a 4 hour order block. Fair value gap. Also, this is an order block. If you see it right here. This right here is a move up into these two candles, which are on order block, and as you can see on the 1 hour, it's also I think a 3 candle order block. If my internet wants to work, I don't know what is this. So yeah, I also created a video of the live trade, like when I actually was in the trade, and I'm gonna post that on Instagram. I'm gonna edit it right with this video after I record it, and then we can start. What is that, bro? And then we can start posting on Instagram like the live trades finally. So let's do what I was about to show. 1 hour. So we have these 3 candles, which are also another block, and a 1 hour fair value gap. So we have a lot of confluences here. 3 PDRAs blocking price from going up. Plus that, we sweep a 50-minute high right here, right at the 930 open. So from there, you also wait for a 5-minute inversion or a break of structure, or both of them. In this case, we inverse this fair value gap after the ES. So ES happened, everything happened earlier, and that was the better trade to take. But since we had news, I did not take that. So I waited for NQ. NQ then did a break of structure right here, inverse this gap, and from here, I was looking for price to retrace back into the PDRA for me to take a trade. Right here with this candle, price retraced back into the order block, and there was an entry which I did not take, and I talked about this on my Twitter. I'll show you later. So we that was right here. We dipped inside here, and then we created a break of structure. This would be an entry. Your stop would have to be about the 5-minute fair value gap, and you would target this. Basically, I want one trade, but I did not take it because I did not like the one-to-one trade. I wanted a little bit better risk to reward, so I did not like the one-to-one, and I did not like how we left the 5-minute fair value gap open. So I was waiting for price to retrace back into the 5-minute, hoping that it will give me a better price action if it, for example, went up into the 5-minute with and created a here a small fair value gap so that we can inverse, and then my stop would be here, and I would target this for like a much better risk to reward. However, price did retrace back into the 5 minutes, so from there, and also not only the 5 minute but also equilibrium of this move, which is a second confirmation and an even more reason to take the trade. From there, I wait for the 1 minute break of structure on these lows or a 1 minute inversion. I got both of those. So you can see that on the once we created a break of structure, I entered with 0.5%. First trade, stop above the high. Target is for our sell side. And then once we inversed the 1 minute inversion with this candle right here, I entered right on this candle. That's where I entered for the second entry with 0.5% as well. So I basically risked 1% to make 1%. I made 1.2% because it was a little bit more than 1-to-1 on every trade. And as you can see, price then dipped lower. It took out this relative equal lows right here, as you can see. So from that point, I was still in the trade, and then I went to after this move down, I was thinking the price should not retrace back, and I confirmed that by having a 2 minute order block right here. I marked it out, these two candles, and since they were above, since this order block was below my entries, I set my stop losses to break even, because I did not want to see price push through this order block. It has to be held if it wants to go down. And price retraced back into the order block right here and beautifully just went down to my take profit. So that was basically today's trade. It was really nice. The next target is obviously this, but I did not want to hold all the way for this. Maybe I could have done this with at least one position, but it is what it is. The market was a bit choppy, as you can see, so I did not want to risk anything. I just banked small profits, and I'm good with that. Yeah, that's about it with the NQ trade. The better thing that I could have done and should have done, because it's my model, was execute right here with 1%. Yeah, just this entry with 1%, and that's it. And then target 1.5, and that'd be the better option. But it is what it is. This was also a good trade because I adapted to the market. And it's better because let's say that this wasn't inversed and then price retraced back, stop me out, I would lose only 0.5 instead of 1%. So this ended up being good. Next target is this. Would have held, but that's fine. Reset to pi basically. And yeah, what I wanted to show you is this. So as you can see, if you follow me on X, every day I post all of my analysis and actually show you the trades I take. So here I showed that the ES setup happened, but I did not want to execute because of the 10 a.m. news. Since PMI didn't do much, I was still expecting a setup. Then a setup on NQ happened. That is what I talked about from the order block. I waited and didn't take it because of the fair value gap here and the small RR. Then I showed how ES banked, but executing here would be pretty bad because we don't execute during news events. And then eventually I showed that I entered into these two, and then I showed how I banked. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this, and see you on the next trade. Tomorrow we have NFP at 8:30 and then 11:25 Powell speaking. So what we are going to do is wait and see what 8:30 does. I'm going to be very careful. I do not want to lose profits from the week, so I'm going to be careful and see if the 8:30 moves too much, I might not even trade, but if it doesn't move too much, I might trade. But anyway, if I find a setup that is clean enough, I'm definitely going to be exiting right prior to Powell speaking, because that's gonna move the market. So I don't want to be in that, especially on a Friday. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.